Adaeze married a homeless stranger just to keep her inheritance, until one afternoon she came home early and discovered exactly who he really was. Adaeze was 34, single, financially independent, and according to her parents, one missed proposal away from disgracing the family name. Every Sunday dinner in their Lagos home turned into an interrogation about husbands and grandchildren, until 3 months before her 35th birthday, Chief Nnamdi and Lady Ngozi delivered their verdict over pounded yam. She would marry before turning 35 or inherit nothing, not 1 naira. She left that dinner boiling with anger, not because she wanted her parents' money, but because she was tired of her worth being measured by whether a man had chosen her. Days later, driving through Lagos traffic after a long day at work, frustrated enough to scream, she passed a man sitting by the roadside near a busy junction, a cardboard sign resting against his knee. His clothes were worn, his beard overgrown, but his eyes held a strange, steady calm. Before she could stop herself, she pulled over and asked him to marry her. His name was Kelechi. She explained everything right there by the roadside. A marriage of convenience, temporary, a roof over his head and food in exchange for playing her husband in front of her parents. He studied her for a long, quiet moment, then simply said, "Okay." 3 days later, after a haircut, a new agbada, and a proper shave, she introduced Kelechi to her parents as her fiancé. To her shock, they adored him instantly. Lady Ngozi cried at dinner. Chief Nnamdi shook his hand like he'd personally secured peace for the whole family. A month later, they married quietly at the registry. The arrangement worked better than she'd ever expected. Kelechi was polite, tidy, occasionally cooked jollof rice on quiet evenings, and never once crossed a line. Some days, she'd almost forget he was technically a stranger living under her roof. Then, one afternoon, a meeting got cancelled, and Adaeze came home early. The moment she opened the front door, she froze. 4 men in expensive suits stood in her living room around Kelechi, and they looked at him with something between fear and reverence, nothing like a casual visit at all. One of the men noticed her and whispered nervously, "Sir, your wife is home." Kelechi turned to face her slowly, and for the first time since she'd met him, he didn't look homeless at all.